So what's going on? My name is Jack Bates, and I have been doing photography now since I was literally in sixth grade. I got my first camera, and I obviously did everything. I liked sunsets. I chased landscapes. I went to college for nutrition, and then when I got out of school, I said, "Hey, why don't I try to do photography for a living?" And I shot my first wedding, and it went pretty well. And from there on out, I've been shooting weddings now for 7 years, and it's been epic. And I've grown a pretty decent business now. And that's what I do. I basically and I started offering video about 3 years ago. So now I do full-time wedding photo and video, and I'm starting to get hit up for plenty of destination weddings, and it's really exciting. And everybody keeps telling me how much they love my work, and it feels good to hear. So that's who I am and what I do. And I'm coming on here to ask you if you have ever wanted to do this. Do you want to be a professional creator? And have you had any of these challenges to get there? Because I remember when I wanted to do this, I didn't think it was possible. And because there's so much competition, there's no standard to get into the industry. Anybody with a camera can be a photographer. So, do you have these challenges? Do you have the same thing that I went through to try to jump into the industry and do it? And, I did for sure. And what did I do to overcome that? At first, I realized, hey, you can do anything you want. Second, figured out it's all about the people you know and the portfolio. So this is how I found my solution. I realized every job I go into, I need to put absolute maximum effort, not only for my clients or the people at the time weren't even my clients, people that were giving me a chance, but I need to do my best possible work for my own portfolio that would lead me to my next job. And that was always my mindset. And that's literally, I know for a fact why I am sitting here today, because I've never gone into any situation, any job, cocky, thinking that I'm better than that or that I'm capable of doing it. I've always been super humble about it, and I've tried my best to learn how I can be better. Still to this day, I'm still, one thing that I'm fine tuning right now is, I'd say, directing and posing and everything like that. And that's because I realized how essential that is. You could literally have an iPhone, and if you're really good at directing, you can get interactions with people and moments that you would be surprised. So I've been around really good directors, and I've realized that, or really good posers, whatever you want to call it. So, but it's the mindset is what I want to talk about, and that's what's so important. And it's that you need to create a portfolio that is going to get you more work, that's going to lead you down your path. So I remember my first wedding, I went into it scared as hell, didn't understand anything about it, but all I knew is that I had to do the best possible job to display to other people that I am capable of shooting their wedding. And every step, every job, every step of the way, every wedding, I still have that mindset to this day, even though I have hundreds of weddings in my portfolio. I have so many weddings at this point that I don't even update it. I forget to update it with jobs that I even really liked. So it's just interesting. So, and what's cool too is I've had many people along the way, not many, but people you are a product of your environment. I've had friends or random people at the time come and love my work, or employees who come around me, and I consider them my students at this point, because they're off doing their own thing, and they've had great success because your eye is developed by the people you're around. You watch what they're doing. You pick up as a child, not only as a child, but your whole life, you're slowly getting molded by your surroundings. So if you really like somebody's work, you just want to be around them to pick up that energy. So I haven't officially taught, so I don't have official students, but I definitely do have people who've come and worked for me, and they're absolutely killing it now, doing their own thing, because, they develop these mindsets. So, let's talk about, what's in and what's out right now, what's old and what's new. And I think In the old world, you know, it was all about, with photography, it was just, you needed to understand the camera, you needed to have a camera, you needed to snap a few pictures of weddings, uh, get the classic shots, you know, the portraits, one picture of this, one picture of that. Basically, deliver the fundamentals of a wedding, which is, like I said, you know, picture of family photos, you know, one picture of them at the altar, one picture of them newlyweds, one picture of the wedding party. That's old. You know what's new is actually going to a wedding and bringing all the energy and creating a feeling with everybody and not stop shooting, capture every moment, literally make your clients feel like they made the best decision in the world by choosing you, because not only do they know that they're going to get that work that you do in your portfolio, but you're also super cool to be around, and you're they want to be your friend almost. And the new world is you have to create really epic stuff no matter what situation you're in. You have to capture every single moment. You have to deliver the best results every time. You can't just take a couple pictures of this and that and think that you got it. You need, one thing that I used to do all the time is I'd snap family photos and they'd be smiling and I'd say next. And I thought it would be weird when I was doing this to try to get, you know, mom, dad, the, you know, the newlyweds to interact with each other. Like, okay, you guys, you know, let's interact. I always was so nervous to do that, but I realized you say to do it, they're hiring you to be there. They're gonna listen to you. You say interact, they're gonna look at each other. It might be awkward for a second, but just that split moment in time where they look and they laugh and you snap that moment, that's new world. You just created that environment. They're laughing with each other. They're gonna look back at that photo and always remember there's real genuine laughs of them looking at each other. That's the kind of stuff that you want to create. That's new world. Old world is just family photo with flash snap. No, you want to find really good natural light, really good dramatic natural light where everybody looks beautiful, but it's also dramatic, right? Not a flash at the altar. Now, obviously, if they want those altar shots, you do it. But hey, let's try to get a family photo outside too. Why? Because you know how much better it is, because we understand lighting and photography, and you know, a flash, on-camera flash photo, no matter what, indoor lighting is going to be indoor lighting. So anyways, and finally, so the solution really to all this stuff is, one, you need to constantly continue your education, but you need to want it, you need to desire it, and you need to go out there and invest in yourself, invest in the equipment, and most importantly, be around the people that you want to create like, and become friends with them. And if you haven't shot in any weddings thus far, whatever, go do stuff. When somebody comes to you, just think immediately portfolio. It's always portfolio. Your mind should always be, how can I create a portfolio for myself? Not how can I make money, That comes down the line. First things first is, how can I create that portfolio? And I'd say the most common mistakes, and one of the biggest mistakes that most people do, is probably becoming cocky or making it about money way too soon. If you're going to become cocky and make it about money before you have that portfolio, you lost. Once you have the portfolio, you can get a little bit cocky or whatever, but I mean, obviously being humble is always way more attractive no matter what, but don't make it about money at first. Always make it about, if anything, make it so far from money. Make it all about the portfolio and making people happy and getting clients. So if there's one thing that I would say for you to do right now, first thing you need to do is figure out who is getting married that you know that's in your network. Contact them immediately and just either beg them to do the wedding for free and say that you're fully equipped. If you think you're ready, do all the research and all the education that you need to be fully ready for that, and dive right into it, because you're first off, they're getting a deal because you're going to get it for free. Or contact them and say, hey, like, I really am trying to build my portfolio. I would love to, you know, be in contact with your photographer. Maybe I could, you know, shoot a couple moments of the day, and see if you want to even do that. Be part of it. Reach out to people to second shoot, but start building that portfolio. Offer to second shoot for people for free, so if you can use the photos in your portfolio. Huge, easy. So you just need to think portfolio. And That's it. And honestly, I'm super thankful that you just sat and watched that whole thing. This is honestly what I want to do. I want to try to start teaching and talking to the camera. So, um, as much as if I gave you any value right there, you know, subscribe. There'll be plenty more to come. And that was my first attempt at a video right there. That's me. That was